Welcome to our digital literacy educational videos. I am your buddy Vidya. Today, we will discuss the importance of ethical practice in coding, focusing on doing the right thing when writing code. Let's dive in. Today, we will be covering about Introduction to Coding Ethics, Definition and Importance of Ethical Coding, Contribution to Society and Human Well-being, Promoting Diversity and Social Responsibility, Ensuring Privacy and Security, and Environmental Sustainability. As we learn to code, we have the ability to change the online world. That's a big deal, so we have to be careful and do things right. Let's make sure our code is fair to everyone and helps make the internet a better place for all. What we do as coders can really affect society, so it's important to know and do the right things. Let me make you understand with a simple example. Let's say you are building a website for buying and selling things. If you make it easy for scammers, bad people, to operate, people might lose money and trust in online shopping. But if you create strong security ways and clear rules, users feel safer and more confident in their transactions, making online shopping a better experience for everyone. Now, let's start learning about ethical coding in more detail to understand the concept in better way. Now, let's understand in simple terms, what is ethical practice in coding and its importance. The definition of ethical practice is: being ethical in coding means making good choices and doing the right things when you're creating programs. The importance of ethical practice is: the software you create can have the capacity to deeply impact on the society. Following to ethical practices guarantees that your code benefits users and respects their rights. You have really put in the work on your fitness app, which is super cool for helping people keep track of their exercises. But did you ever think about how it might not work for everyone? Ethical coding means making sure our software doesn't hurt anyone. Like making sure social media don't spread misinformation or promote hate speech. We need to focus on keeping people safe, healthy, and their information private. Class, we are now going to discuss why it's important to include everyone. Diversity and including everyone are really important in coding. Let us understand with an example. Imagine you are making a messaging app. Instead of thinking everyone has super fast internet and the newest devices, you work hard to include features that work for people with slower internet or older devices. By doing this, you make sure more people can use your app, which is a big part of being responsible when you code. Make sure your code treats everyone equally, that is equality, and doesn't leave anyone out, that is discrimination. Also, think about big problems like unfairness, not having enough money, and not having what you need. Your code can help fix these things. Now, we will understand about ensuring privacy and security. Remember, keeping people's information safe is the most important thing in coding. Always make sure to protect their data and personal info. Use strong security to stop hackers and keep out anyone who should not be there. If privacy gets broken, it can hurt people and companies. Let us make sure our code is super safe and private. Let us understand with an example. Imagine you are working on a banking app. People trust this app to keep their money safe. If the app has stuff like account numbers and transaction history, it is really important to make sure nobody can get to it unless they should. Use things like secret codes and special checks to keep bad guys out. When you make sure the app is super private and secure, it helps people feel safe about their money. Now at last, we will understand about environmental sustainability. Remember about the environment when we code. Try to make software that does not use too much energy. Make sure your code runs smoothly and does not waste resources. By doing this, we can help make the world a little greener. Let us understand with an example. Picture yourself creating a navigation app. If you make the code work better so it finds routes faster, it will not drain as much battery on people's phones. This not only makes the app nicer to use but also saves energy, which helps take care of the environment. Today, we learnt about the ethics of coding, in which we covered about what is ethical coding. Can you tell me the answer? Yes, you are correct. Being ethical in coding means making good choices and doing the right things when you're creating programs. Next, we covered about the contribute to the society and well-being. Yes, we need to make sure our software doesn't cause bad things like hurting people or making their information unsafe. Next is to think about what might happen after people use our software. Make sure it is fair for everyone and does not leave anyone out. Also, be careful about how it might affect big problems like fairness and helping others. And last, try to make our software good for the environment. Now, let's test your understanding of ethical practice in coding with quiz questions. The question 1 is, what is the importance of ethical practice in coding? Options are: Option A, it speeds up development. Option B, it guarantees financial success. Option C, it ensures that software benefits users and respects their rights. Or Option D, it has no impact on the quality of software. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is Option C, it ensures that software benefits users and respects their rights. What is the importance of ethical practice in coding? It ensures that software benefits users and respects their rights. The second question says what's something important to think about when making software to help the environment? And the options are: Option A, using as much energy as possible. Option B, making sure it doesn't harm the environment too much by using cleaner energy and being more careful with resources. Option C, using up lots of resources. Or Option D, making it run super slow. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is Option B, making sure it doesn't harm the environment too much by using cleaner energy and being more careful with resources. What's something important to think about when making software to help the environment? Making sure it doesn't harm the environment too much by using cleaner energy and being more careful with resources. Now, the third question is: how can coders help make sure everyone can use their software? Here are the options. Option A, by not thinking about different kinds of people. Option B, by making sure the software is hard to use. Option C, by making it work for lots of different people. Or Option D, by only focusing on making money. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is Option C, by making it work for lots of different people. How can coders help make sure everyone can use their software? By making it work for lots of different people. The last question is: why is it really important to keep people's info safe when coding, especially for apps like banking apps? Options are: Option A, so the app can be really complicated. Option B, so it takes a long time to make. Option C, so people trust the app with their money and feel safe. Or Option D, so it's easy for anyone to get the data. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is Option C. So people trust the app with their money and feel safe. Why is it really important to keep people's info safe when coding, especially for apps like banking apps? So people trust the app with their money and feel safe. Thank you for watching. Happy learning.